pledge. States the agenda approval.
Commissioners, I have no changes to do this presented.
Second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any objections or discussions? We'll vote the vote.
Commissioner Morales.
Yes.
Commissioner
Yes.
Gardner.
Yes.
Commissioner
Moving on to the consent agenda.
Commissioner, I'm going to go for that. I have the meeting minutes from September 3rd. I have compliment grants for Jeffrey Chandler, Assistant Attorney, Spencer Butler, and Christian Chamber. I have a new hire, Gabriel Pio in the Sheriff's Office, and a new hire, Morgan Hoffman in DHS, as well as a new hire, Gabriel Rodriguez in dispatch.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Morgan.
Yes.
Commissioner Sawyer.
Yes.
Chairman Linder.
Yes. Moving on to public comment. I have David's request. If you'll come to the podium, state your name and address, and then please.
So you want an address? James Strickland. I live in Gardner, right north of town. And basically, I'm standing here before you today as a concerned Gardner community member. I'm an ER nurse that moved here 2 years ago from Pennsylvania with my family. We love the area, we love the small community of Gardner. So the water leak that occurred on August 27th brought some concerns to me. A town without water should be classified as an emergency. It was evident that there was no emergency plan for the town of Gardner if they happened to be without water. I've worked in hospitals for the last 10 years, and we have emergency plans for all kinds of things. I feel that the county of Huerfano should have emergency plans for things that could go wrong in the town as well. Each town should have their own emergency plan. Honestly, I think we should be glad that this happened and it didn't cause a ton of issues, because now we can make emergency plans should this happen again. Luckily, it occurred in the small town of Gardner and not in Walsenburg. It was my understanding that the leak was identified on Tuesday, the 27th, but people were not notified about the issue until late Wednesday of that week. Quick response is really necessary. If a leak is detected, so the entire leak, so the entire tank does not run dry. It seems as though the tank was allowed to run dry. I'm a little concerned that this occurred over holiday weekend as well, and that maybe that they may have delayed fixing the problem. I hope that essential personnel will be required to work over that holiday weekend to fix the problem. I was also informed of the issue from Gardner Valley School and not by the local government. Also kept up to date on the progress of the resolution of the problem through the school. It would be great if the county had a notification system in place like the school. I literally get a phone call, an email, a text, and they all bombard my phone like within the same 5 minutes. So that I know when school's closed or this or that. It would be really nice to be like, hey, there's no bulk water until we figure something out or whatever. After the water was fixed, I saw that we were supposed to go sign up for Code Red, but the Code Red information they will be seen like when you go to the Huerfano.us page. If when we open that web page to the home page, if there was a banner right across the top that said, Code Red, Gardner, bulk water's out, or whatever, which is easier to find. Like you have to do a bunch of clicking to even get to where the Code Red stuff is. There was no communication to the community on how or where we can get water until it was back running. There was I felt like there was nothing done to help us get water, like providing water via the tanker. Even if a tanker was brought in and like those using bulk water were allowed to get 200 gallons per household. It was, I saw there was one post on Facebook, actually I didn't see it, I was told there was one post on Facebook that cases of water were available at the firehouse. I did actually call and talk to Carl. I don't know if you know what. But he told me that there was water available, but he actually didn't even tell me where it was. I missed that Facebook post, and honestly, a case of bottled water isn't gonna provide me with what the bulk water provides me with. I had also asked Carl if we could get bulk water in Walsenburg. He did think that we could, but that is not really the case. As if you put like your account number from Gardner down here, it won't allow you to access it. It says it's the wrong location. I did hear of somebody that did do that, but then they had to come up here, set up a whole new account through Walsenburg, repay, all that stuff. Nice. I do know that Colorado City has like a paper bill. I actually went all the way to Colorado City, but I had to do my own research to find that out. It was like, there was just no suggestions on how to help us in this time of need. Being relatively new to the area, like I said, I didn't have any idea where to go, how to get water for the week. I get water almost every other day, like 400 gallons. I don't know what to do. Honestly, I don't even cook or drink that water that comes via the bulk water. It has a high concentration of chlorine and other additives. It turns my pots white if I boil the water. It doesn't taste good. So I really only use the water to let my livestock drink, for bathing, and for laundry. Like otherwise, I buy water. I buy gallons of water to cook with. My dog alone, she drinks 5 gallons of water a week. Like one case, that's not even a gallon. I don't even know. So water is essential to life, and providing 1 case of bottled water for people who use approximately 625 gallons a week. That was just an estimated 2,500 gallons per day, divided by 4. So that's like 625 gallons a week, but just 1 case doesn't cut it. This is why we need an emergency plan to provide the community with water, especially if it's going to be warm in a few days. Carl did actually tell me that I could flush a toilet with a bottle of water, which is not actually the fact. On the toilet, it tells you it takes 1 to 3 gallons of water to flush, and that's what the dump takes to actually make it flushed. My last concern is that in Gardner, we only have fire as emergency personnel. There was 0 collaboration with Tanner, who's the captain. If he had been notified and brought to the meeting that occurred on Friday, maybe plans could have been made. I do know that he has some emergency plans in place or, on paper, ready to go. So I feel like communication is very pertinent to this emergency plan. So in closing, I hope that all or some of these things are implemented, and next time there's an emergency, I hope that the county learned from this emergency and we can get some kind of plan set up. You need help? I'm here too. All right, thank you.
So, Commissioners, if I may, a couple of actual things. The leak, we were first notified Wednesday at 4 o'clock. County staff was on site at 5. And started working on that. As far as code red goes, code red is available on the county website. You scroll down to click public safety, we'll take you right to that page. It doesn't go straight to the public web, to the code red site, because we don't want you to use that. We want you to call dispatch. Because people go in and put the link, put their pin on that site themselves. More often than not, it's wrong. So we do encourage you to call dispatch 719-738-1024, and they will make sure that that pin is in the right location. As far as emergency plan, there is an emergency plan for this kind of situation. It was fully executed. We don't provide water for livestock in this kind of situation. If the livestock are taken from a location and taken to a shelter somewhere, that's a different story. This kind of situation, we don't. We don't advertise on potable water, we don't know their rules. But Waldenburg is definitely a different system than us. You have to account for them. I don't know how Colorado City works, I don't know how Custer County works. Those are other things. There was an issue with COVID during this situation. We had an 8% closure rate for the COVID calls. Not exactly sure why. Our best guess is that the code red is tied to cell phone that didn't have service. But it's an issue that we still have to figure out.
Which is on the Conrad side, not the Texas.
Yes. I do definitely agree that I'm ready to say it should happen now. Because if the fire is going to have that code red issue come up then, would have been a serious issue. But it is very important that as soon as people move to the county, they sign up for code red. That's not our reverse 911 system. That's how we notify people in the middle of emergency. So the first code red, I think, went out Wednesday night when we went out it. And this was atypical. So county staff were working the entire weekend. They found the leak on Friday and worked through the weekend to fix it and to get the water back up and running. Number one with the entire system. In general, bringing in a tanker is not a thing that we're going to do. Not unless we have a problem that is more serious than just a leak. If we found that there was no water in the wells were dry, that's a different situation. That's when something like a tanker would be done. But generally speaking, the county doesn't have that kind of resources to bring in tankers for this kind of situation. Something longer, absolutely.
A week's a long time.
And just so everyone knows, it didn't start with a leak, it started with the pressure deteriorating. So we were doing research to figure out what it was. We didn't know if it was a pump, we didn't know if it was a well, we didn't know what was going on. So that research happened much more before we realized that there was a leak. And when we realized there was a leak on an unmarked line, that was before the county's time, because someone drove into it and it was wet. So by the time we realized what it was, notifications went out immediately. We couldn't notify that there was a problem if we didn't know what the problem was, and it wasn't really a problem at that time. We were just losing pressure.
We were doing notifications.
Right, but we didn't say there was a leak because we didn't know there was a leak until the notifications went out and it was fixed immediately after.
Yeah, I mean, I know town had water much before the bulk water was back.
Sure.
I mean, that's not gonna be an issue in a couple months when I have a well, so, but it's still an issue to those that still use the bulk water.
Sure.
And the bulk water, the reason why we didn't turn it back on is because of oil water advisory. Folks that are in town move the water differently. So you can boil water and things like that. Bulk water, sometimes it might sit there for a long time. So there is an issue with E. coli or something like that in that tank. We don't want it to sit in your bulk water tank, say for instance, if you fill it up and then have to be gone for a couple of months, because that's how some of the water users operate. So we didn't open the bulk water up until the water horizon was lifted and it was clean, reliable water coming through there.
And the testing facilities closed on Friday and they were closed on Monday.
Nobody is open on the weekends?
The testing facilities is a 24-hour test, and they don't accept tests on Fridays at all. And then it was Mondays and Monday.
I think they were closed on Fridays. They were closed on, I don't know if closed on Fridays, regular or not, but.
Yeah, they don't accept
It was
tests.
unfortunate timing, that's for sure.
Absolutely. But our crews worked around the clock. They didn't get much sleep. They were very dedicated. We just did comp payouts to compensate them for that. So it was just approved. And it wasn't just, the crews that were in actually digging the line. It was a lot of volunteer people from the county volunteering their time to do food and, really doing so they could get some rest. So it seems like it was a long time. It was a very, very quick fix once we realized what was happening. Again, it was an unmarked line that we inherited from Gardner before the county owned it. So.
As far as the fire department, I'm not sure what the complaint is about Tanner. Tanner wasn't recognized at the conference.
And it's not like a procedure where you would notify the fire department if you have a water.
And they helped us out and they started helping us out Thursday evening. I think they started helping us out doing the water distributions. And Tanner was way back from Redwoods when we picked up 8 pallets of water, brought them back. We arranged for the pickup, given Los Angeles County employee to pick them up and brought them back. So I haven't heard from Jan about that, but there wasn't a meeting on Friday we could be invited to either. So I'm not sure what what you're referring to there. But then we are going to talk to Huerfano Fire and make sure that we're on the same page. What happened, how to make it better. And we're going to do some workshopping on this to make sure that we are more prepared in the future. So.
But there was absolutely plans in place. It's just, you can't execute them and you don't know the problems.
Doing the water, doing the notifications, things like that. That's nature.
There is, places where you can get your own water. There's also companies that will deliver to you. So it might be a good thing to develop that list, and can we help them if you need to give you some names, but there's people who actually bring water to you for delivery.
Some of those people fill from your account though.
Yeah.
They actually bill from whoever they're billing on their account.
Right, but why they don't use for my account?
Yeah, they don't have.
But
any
if there's no
other-
water, there's no water. They can't fill them.
Sure. But there's some that have an independent water sources, so they can fill even in the event that you can't use them.
I just felt like they were super useful about communication.
Yeah, they would have this communication channel.
But code red is the first,
That's all I want.
first step is code red, absolutely.
Just want to make it better.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, next, anything else on the topic? Okay, we have Charlene Velarde.
Morning.
You'll just take your name and address for the picture.
Sure, Charlene Velarde, 24768, Highway 69, Gardner. So I was going to talk to you about the grant that you gave me last year as a community health advocate for $1,000. I'm going to give you the Reader's Digest version, but I'd like to give you what I actually did, you know, all the stuff.
I know you can't read it now, but
Only got five.
It's going to have to share.
You can share.
So the reorganization of the board at La Clinica is so grateful for the $1,000 grant you gave us to provide community health advocate, which is me. I think when you look over the document I'm providing you, you'll be astounded by what I actually accomplished. I took the role very seriously in bringing much needed advocacy services to the Upper Huerfano area. I spent hundreds of hours working to bring resources to the area. And this was done with love, compassion, and no compensation for myself. I feel that this is perhaps the best $1,000 you guys have ever spent. Anyway, my mission was to bring resources to Gardner. We did a survey in the summer of 2023 to assess the needs of the Gardner community. We especially focused on our senior population. Our goal was to use the funds most wisely to meet the identified community needs. Approximately 60 surveys were completed, and we found 4 needs that were most significant. First was the need for a mental home in Gardner. What was accomplished? Revitalizing the clinic for provider space. We have an open house scheduled October 12th from 2 to 4, and we're ready to have providers there. We coordinated with Spanish Peaks Regional Health Center on hosting the medical van. The second item is community reconnection. A potluck was mentioned repeatedly. So what we accomplished, we started with a monthly potluck with a great response. We've offered free community-based art classes at the same event. And we started a sign-up sheet for what people need and what people can offer, either for fee, barter, or just goodwill. The third item was transportation needs. What we accomplished. Now, this was not easily solved, but we've made many strides in the community with greater understanding of MedRide, Humana Service, bus stand connections, and explaining these options to residents. At this time, there isn't enough interest in the COG bus. And the problem is the people that need the bus can't get down to the meeting place in town. They don't have transportation to get there. So we started a sign-up sheet at the potlucks to connect people who need rides with people that can offer rides. So this is ongoing. The fourth item is food insecurity. Excuse me. What we accomplished. Okay, so I pick up an average of 25 to 30 food boxes per month from Dorcas Circle, and I distribute a third of them to the people's house, and the rest people can pick up at the local food bank, which is at the Gardner Parish Hall. I've delivered food boxes. I already said that to the people unable to get there. I've assisted both with food distribution at Care and Share and delivered some to the homebound and information sharing at all the local events. As the community health advocate, I have networked with more than a dozen agencies to bring much needed health and wellness information and/or services to the Gardner area. Taking all services into consideration, I can estimate that there were more than 2,000 contacts with most residents needing more than one service, many on a monthly basis. I am respectfully requesting that you consider funding us for another year. This isn't a program that can fix things and leave. The needs still exist. And that's all on that grant. You can read the extended version. But I just wanted to talk to you about another health issue that we have in Gardner. If you don't mind another moment of your time. And as you're aware, the issue of trash is a huge problem in Huerfano County. But the resilience of the people of Gardner come together as a community to solve our problem. Dale Meisinger has found oak disposal in Westcliff, and the cost is $750 for a dump exchange. And as long as we physically pack it tight enough, we get in there and push that trash in, we can afford it. We're doing great on that end. It opens on the sides, which is awesome because we do not have the bears or the crows spreading trash all over the place. We don't have that problem anymore. It's wonderful. The volunteers are cleaning up the trash that is spread around. So I think Gardner's going to look a lot better. Our responsibility of recycling is our issue. Gail has researched recycling companies, and I don't know if I told you, but Gail Meisinger manages the dump exchange and the volunteers. And I've signed up as the representative as the Colorado nonprofit for El Depot and volunteer. So she's responsible. She has researched all the recycling places we can find, and nobody wants to come to Gardner. So what we need is a little stipend for gas money to bring recycling to Walsenburg. We just don't have enough money. We pay our dumpster fine, but we don't have anything extra. So I'm just asking for a little stipend for gas money to take the recycling so we can start recycling and not throw it in the trash to Walsenburg. Anyway, the sleepy little town of Gardner is waking up. We have many new people, many new faces. I'm seeing young people moving into the area. So I'm working on engaging them by providing information, but more importantly, by showing them actions, what we're doing, and they're starting to get involved. So I believe with the community's shared vision, we can do the impossible. Thank you.
Do I have anything on the line for them to speak? No appointments, no land use, that would bring us to action items.
Commissioners, first I have your resolution number 23-38. Ordinance to amend resolution 23-15 to revise the fees for research and retrieval of records. This resolution updates section 9 of resolution 23-15 and updates some language requested by the attorney. Primarily in part 3, it says that the request will take 1 hour to fulfill. People researching, retrieving, reviewing, and necessary redacting, request information shall be 41/37 per time, and shall automatically increase every 5-year period to equal or rate the document established of the regulatory research, resident council, to consider. So, our current rate's $30 an hour after the first 2.
That's correct.
After the first 2 hours. If you think you raise this for your remarks, she would also probably like this rate raised. But it's only about the first 2 hours, so this is a change from $30 from the first 2 hours to $30 after the first hour. And then it will automatically increase every time it says, you can increase this now.
Unless they have a notice or research.
They send out, they publish a report. I feel like I didn't get from them this time, but they try to stay honest. This has been about 2 months of me trying to get this done, so. It also does clarify that if someone's acquiring a record that requires us to deal with a outside party using an actual triad to access those records, then whenever triad goes up is what we would go a little frustrated. Other than that, everything else is essentially the same.
Thank you. Wait a second, any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote.
Yes.
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 Here's just a half of your September 11th vendor run. And the total amount of $97,095.03. After we give you August vendor run that's done after the fact, it's when it's done beforehand. I'd like to get it to you before we do these runs. Ideally, if you have any questions, we're happy to answer them, or we can also begin that too.
Make a motion to accept the vendor run.
Second.
I have a motion, second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Mr. Wood,
Yes.
Mr. Spoon,
Yes.
Yes.
motion passes. Commissioners, after my personal number 297 for Spatialist Inc. This is the assessor who's property portal, amount of $6,000.
Motion to pre-purchase order in the convenience of the amount of $6,000. Equilibrium.
Second that.
Motion, second, any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Spoon,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Chairman Jones.
Yes.
Motion passes. Next, I have for you a mini grant agreement by between Huerfano County and Crowley County on behalf of the Southeast Co-op Opioid Swap Settlement Region 19, aka C-Corp. So this is an annual mini grant. I think last year the funds went straight to the health department. It's coming to the county first. Just because I haven't heard of the health department on this yet, and to expedite the process. Thanks to you guys for your approval. It will go into our opioid fund, and then whenever we make that department to actually execute on these, on this work, we'll come back to you later on. So, yeah. And we can also do a bit of other things, so that's how it worked. That's how it's been last year, so that's what it is.
Make a motion to send the mini grant agreement.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, off the vote.
Commissioner Court,
Yes.
Commissioner Sweeney,
Yes.
Chairman Guy,
Yes.
motion passes. I'm just going to have for you your 2025 legislative committee commissioner division form, something that you do annually. Primary person, the chief executive of voting for the candidates on the House Legislative Committee as they would make 2025 priorities. There was a request that we clear an alternate as well. I believe with the county commissioner. Oh, what's that?
But he already wins the winners.
It is.
I'll make a motion. Appoint Carl. Just like the meeting commission. Can I go ahead and myself?
Sure. They want to hear you guys.
And then appoint myself as the.
Second that.
I have a motion and a second, any discussion? Off the vote.
Commissioner Stewart. Commissioner Wendell.
Yes.
Chairman Guy.
Yes.
Motion passes. And I'll just clarify, the real typical that you all are talking is you, so.
That was the.
Have fun.
Yeah, yeah. So what you expect then? Just get your popcorn and watch. All right, next I have for you is approval or request to accept the award of the statewide internet port authority, SIPA collect rate in the amount of $498,440. Now, President will be permitted the processes to enterprise funding system. And one that's adopting content technologies again for the system. Yeah, which will Bonner County to offer digital versions of our remaining forms and ultimately streamline certain processes. This bill will also cover the implementation costs.
On page 60 of the packet, there's a recommendation on, accept promotion. Please send it. And a recommendation.
Accept the grant approval, to take that up. Or fully.
Not exceed.
I don't think it needs it up to the portion to take that up for there.
Okay. I'll say.
The motion is open, any discussions?
Commissioner Wendell,
Yes.
Commissioner Stewart,
Yes.
Chairman Guy.
Yes.
Motion. And that is the end of action items.
Moving on to correspondence.
Commissioner Stewart, has your property candidate monthly reports for August. Followed by workers' comp reports for August. And your bulk water 2024 monthly volume report. For August, I'm good. Your August utility billing register. Your August system totals report. Then I have an invitation for the project priority planning process meeting held in Los Angeles County on the 25th of September. This is where CDOT will encourage CDOT to set appropriate priorities for the next 10 years. So we encourage not just the commissioners, but members of the community to attend that as well. And then I have your August airport sales report, your August road and bridge fee report, and that is it.
Okay, moving on to staff reports.
Commissioners, continue my staff report in writing. The equation of the TPOD lead issue earlier is included. All thanks for a vertical fire, fleeting water distribution, Harnick Service, Indiana Service, Arrowhead, Safeway, Sam's Club, Lowe's, and Home Depot for water donations. And of course, to the residents and users of the system for their understanding, support, and patience. Everyone was very kind to pushing folks that are working. And it was a big dream to me. It's everyone. Serious situation, and I'm glad that our team was able to resolve it as quickly as they did. For a while there, we were running out of ideas. So we will be working on improving the communications systems to make sure that we can reach folks in a better way. I think that's going to hopefully fund the patient rather than later some stuff, particularly on things like leak detection and other systems to make sure that we can catch something that's happened before the system is empty. Is also going to come for you eventually. We'll try to decide how best to fund that through our budget process. We do have open the 543 bridge on North River. That closes on September 20th. Hoping that we took good quotes for that one. And then we are seeking those of interest for the Ranger Community Center Advisory Board, Huerfano County Tourism Board, the Planning Commission, the Board of Adjustment, Building Authority, and the Board of Review. So if you know anyone that might be interested in those boards, they can reach to Hannah. They can also apply online. But filling those boards is important to how the county functions. It's a great chance for citizens to be in charge of having some advice that's given to the board about how the county should operate. Then I have my usual list of meeting information. And that's the main part of my staff report. Everything else will go over the admin meeting.
Thank you. Doesn't look like we have any attorney reports. Everything's going good with the attorney.
Okay. Eric.
Go ahead, Eric. You're muted and you're trying to speak.
Had just a quick question on item E. Was Carl Sporleader named for that?
Yes.
Yep.
And Mitchell Wardell is a designee or alternate.
I'm sorry, who was the alternate?
Mitchell Wardell.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think we're doing okay. There are a couple of things that I'm working more stay on, reverse versus case, but at the moment, everything's sort of functioning as normal. We have a couple of executive sessions coming up, but much discussed.
Okay, we don't have a need for executive session. We do have some upcoming meetings, which would be administration workshop, upon adjournment, noon emergency management workshop, and then 1:30, the data range on the river site visit, which is on County Road 69, I'm sorry, Colorado 69 and County Road 617. But before we entertain the motion to adjourn, I think Mr. Sporleader was going to speak a little about the grade loss that I kind of faced.
Yeah, just wanted to
wanted to talk about, we had lost a tremendous, person in the community, Sandy White, passed away this month. And we just wanted to, give a solid, recognition to a solid citizen of our county. He has done amazing things for planning and zoning, water occupancy, and I'm not even sure how many years he's done that, but it's been a long time. And we just want to extend our thanks to him and his family, and our condolences to this great rock star county. He's been a tremendous service to our county for many, many years.
Absolutely. Thank you. Anything else for the good of the motion? If not, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Call for vote.
Commissioner Potter? Commissioner Mordo?
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes. June at 10:41. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.